I've done a lot of stupid things as a kid that either got me in trouble, injured, or sometimes almost killed. A few examples of this would be the time I golf clubbed my brother in the face, the time Barney the dinosaur made me split my head open, don't ask, or the time I jumped in front of a moving car. Yeah, I was a pretty stupid kid, but we aren't talking about those stories today. Today we're talking about the time my dad almost got me killed because he didn't want to mow the lawn. Confused? I'd be surprised if you weren't. But don't you worry your pretty little face. I'll explain everything. So growing up, I've had quite a few pets in my life. Birds, dogs, fish, birds, cats, more birds. We had a lot of birds. Right now I've got 2 cats named Kabuki and Blaine, who I love so much. They're so super cute. Oh, look at them. Anyway, back to the story. So this happened when I was about, I want to say about 9 years old. You know, before I was a moody, edgy teen who hated the world. So one day I was walking home from school. I walk inside my house and I go to my room. I sit on my bed to rest after a long day of, I don't know, intense math. I glance out the window into the backyard. And I freeze. Because looking back at me was this sheep. I mean, not just any sheep. This sheep was huge. And it was just chilling in our backyard. Just staring at me. Mom? Now, this might have been normal if I lived near farms or rural areas, but I don't. In fact, now that I think about it, that was probably the first sheep I ever saw in my life, so I have no idea where it came from. I asked my mum, I'm like, hey, there's a sheep in our backyard, like, did you know about that, or what's going on here? And my mum, in the most neutral, expressionless tone, just replies with,
Oh, that? Yeah, your dad got that, so we wouldn't have to mow the lawn anymore.
I literally didn't know what to say. I did that thing they do on The Office when someone says something so stupid you can't do anything but look at the camera. So basically, in my dad's words, the sheep would eat our grass, therefore we would always have short grass, therefore we would never need to mow the lawn. Yeah. Genius? Or just lazy? I'm going with lazy. I went outside to look at the sheep, and the neighbor popped up over the fence, just watching our sheep.
Hey,
Hey.
you got a sheep?
Yeah.
Cool. Is it a boy or girl?
I don't know.
Cool. Did you name it?
No.
Can I?
Some days, I would look out my window and see our neighbor just chilling on the fence, just casually watching the sheep. Sometimes she would even jump over the fence and just sit in our backyard while petting the sheep. I guess she really liked him, or her. I still don't know. I think the worst part about having a sheep was I didn't actually have any curtains or blinds on my windows, which showed the entire backyard. So if I went to sleep and I made the mistake of opening my eyes and looking out the window, the sheep would almost always be right there, staring into my room, unblinking. I would be too scared to close my eyes, so I would just stare back in fear. I would usually end up crying myself to sleep. This happened way too often to my liking. Maybe it just wanted to have a staring contest, and it was waiting for the day it would beat me, or something. I don't know. Anyway, let's talk about the time Chipette almost killed me. We're naming her Chipette for the purpose of this video. So one day I was walking home from school, as usual. I walk into my room, as usual. I sit on the bed, I look out the window, but Chipette wasn't there. Now, don't get me wrong, I didn't miss having my soul being pierced by a sheep's stare. I was just so used to seeing its stalky face when I came home. All of a sudden, my dad busts into the room, looks me dead in the eye, and mutters,
"Get up."
At this stage, I already know I'm about to get roped into something stupid. So, apparently someone forgot to lock the gate, and Chipette escaped. So Dad had me, my older brother, and him go look for it on the street. So we head outside, and my dad and brother go and check one side of the street, and they tell me to stay put in case the sheep comes back. I was like, cool, cool. A few moments pass, and they return with no sign of the sheep, so they go and check off the other side. I was like, alright, cool, cool. A few more minutes go by, and I'm like, hey, I guess they didn't find the sheep. Maybe our neighbor took him? It wouldn't surprise me, I mean, she loves Chipette. Or maybe Chipette joined a cult. Yeah, that's more believable. As I was thinking about what kind of cult Chipette would have joined, all of a sudden, I hear a scream from down the road. Now, even though I live on a long street, because of the bend I couldn't actually see past about 2 houses, so I couldn't see who screamed or why. So I continued looking down the street, and then I saw it. It was Chipette, being chased by my dad and brother, and they were coming in super fast, directly towards me. I didn't have time to react. I just stood there dumbfounded, trying to process what was happening before my eyes. All of a sudden, my dad stops running and shouts, "Catch it!" Now, here's the thing. I love my dad, I think he's great and stuff, but you gotta question his game plan here. Chipette was a really, really big sheep, and I was a really, really scrawny 9-year-old. This sheep was at least twice my size, and this sheep was running down towards me at maximum speed. Probably running over the speed limit. I don't know if like the road laws apply to sheep, but I'm just saying that's like probably not safe. And my dad wanted me to stand there and stop it? Like, maybe if I had those iron boots from The Legend of Zelda that like make you stand your ground, I could maybe do it then, but I didn't have those. This sheep was about to ram straight into me, sending me flying and knocking me onto the road. Probably dead. Now, I don't know if it was me obeying my dad or just being scared stiff, but I just stood there with my hands up. And as the sheep got closer and closer, I'm like, this is it. This is how I'm gonna die, because my dad was too lazy to cut the frickin' grass. Well, all of a sudden, I guess it just clicked in my dad's head and he realized how bad his plan was, because all of a sudden he shouts, "Don't catch it, run!" I snapped out of my trance and I started to jog towards the pavement out of harm's way. And the sheep started heading towards me, like it was freaking trying to take me down. This sheep, I don't know if it was because sometimes I would sleep facing away from the window and not play the staring contest with it, or because I never named it properly and it suddenly had identity issues, but this sheep had it in for me. It wanted revenge. I remember I started to scream and I began to sprint towards my house. The sheep just missed me because he decided to stay on the road and he continued to run down the street. I ran inside as fast as I could, I slammed the door behind me and I was done with that situation. Nope, nuh-uh, I am not going outside again. I refuse to die today. Now, I don't really remember how they caught the sheep, but once they did, I think Dad finally developed common sense and decided it probably wasn't the best idea to raise a sheep in the suburbs. And we really didn't need it, so we sent it off to live on a farm or something. I remember my dad coming into my room after the whole commotion, and he was just laughing it off like, "Haha, it's a good thing you didn't die today." Freaking, I had nightmares about the sheep for weeks, man. But I guess we can all learn something very valuable from this traumatic experience. A valuable lesson for all to keep through the ages. Mow your lawns. Okay, so first I want to give a huge thanks to Emirichu for voicing my mum in this video. She actually sent me 3 audio files and they were so good, I didn't know which one to use. So yeah, huge thanks. You guys should check her out, she does really good storytime animation videos. I know it's kind of stupid for someone with 60 subscribers to tell you to, hey, go watch someone with 60,000 subscribers. But even if like I can introduce one person to your channel, that'll mean a lot to me. It'll like make me feel like I did something. But yeah, that's the end of the video. I hope you guys liked it. It was really fun and long to make. I'm still kind of getting used to animation, that's why it's very different to the first video I made. But you know, slowly and surely I'm getting there. I'm actually getting a Cintiq 22 soon, and I'm so pumped because I've been using a pen tablet for about 6 years. I think I got it when I was about... Actually, I'm not going to tell you my age. But I've had it for a while, so I'm finally getting an upgrade. I'm super pumped for that, and that'll mean that I can make better videos. Probably not. They'll probably stay bad. But yeah, thanks for watching. If you liked it, like, subscribe, if you want. Comment. I reply to all my comments, actually, because it's fun to interact with people who have the same likes and opinions, and even some that don't have the same likes and opinions. It's just, I like talking. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. But I think I'm talking too long, so I gotta go. I don't have to go, but it's awkward now. Sorry, call from my mum, bye.